CUDA.com and Royal Farms on the campus of Boys Latin at J. Duncan Smith Field, one of the best environments in all of high school lacrosse. Thanks for joining us. I'm Booker Corrigan alongside Inside Lacrosse writer Ty Zanders. Ty, two traditional rivals going at it today. What can we expect to see?
Booker, I absolutely adore this rivalry. I grew up around it, always fun to watch. No matter the record, it's going to be a great game. If you think BL is going to dominate this game because St. Paul is 0-6 to MLA, you haven't been following this league very long.
And let's talk about St. Paul's and what they bring to the table as far as individual players that we can expect to look for.
Of course, it starts with Spencer Parks, who will need to put the team in his back here today. They'll need huge goalie play from Will Rigo and Hunter Pearl. No word on how they're going to split up the time. But also the midfield is also essential with what BL brings to the table.
And for Boys Latin, that attack group of Shaq Stanwyck, Colin Heacock, and Colin Shell, tremendous group. Midfielders Ben Pridemore and Michael Lynch do the bulk of the offensive stands, and then defensively, you can never overlook Mac the Knife Pons and the contributions he makes. It'll be a great matchup today. CUDA.com and Royal Farms bringing it to you. Thanks for making CUDA part of your sports viewing day. As we see the goaltenders shake hands, got to remind you the first quarter is brought to you by the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club, an amazing organization solely involved with CUDA.com and the Royal Farms Game of the Week to support the efforts of these great athletes.
For the Crusaders, Mike D'Amelio.
D'Amelio and Hunter Moreland going at it at the face-off logo. Booker Corrigan and Ty Zanders bringing you the call, and Moreland makes quick work of the opening draw, but a timely check. And St. Paul's will have the first real possession.
St. Paul's ball to
Small
clear.
plays like that will add up today. Nice timely check there, as Booker mentioned. This rivalry comes down to small things. Throw those records away. One of the best rivalries in the country.
Alex McGovern steps in, gets it up top to Parks. Parks matched up by Mac the Knife Pons. A tremendous matchup. CUDA.com and Royal Farms bringing it to you. Carter Flagg spins it all the way behind Casey Larkin. Great wrap check. Tommy Brown, strip delicious on the end line, gets it quickly to goaltender Christian Knight. Knight finds Ben Pridemore in the middle of the field.
That's one of the speediest midfielders in the league. Good matchup between him and Mike Mayer, as is Spencer Parks versus Mac Pons. You will not find many better matchups in the country than that.
CUDA.com, third year in a row covering the St. Paul's BL game. We've had some great matchups in the past, and we expect nothing short of that today. Michael Lynch gets it over to Pridemore. Pridemore tests the waters against McGovern. Short stick D Medi, Andrew Nelson also in for St. Paul's. Pridemore a little split left to right. Coming out looking to pass the whole way, finds Lynch up at the top. Lynch down low, Tal Bruno with the shot. Goes wide, backed up by Heacock.
Remains Boys Latin ball. Colin Heacock to inbounds.
Booker, just looking at the stands right now, this atmosphere is not what it has been in the past. I remember going to BL St. Paul's games when I was little that would attract 5,000 to 6,000 people. I don't think we have quite that yet.
Because everybody knows they can stay home and watch it on CUDA.com.
This is a good point. It's also a Tuesday, which is a rare occurrence for this rivalry.
Bounce pass corralled by Pridemore. Finds Shaq Stanwyck rolling off the left side, gets it back to Pridemore. Pridemore wants to go inside to Lynch, but defers up top to Heacock. Heacock, the natural left-hander, gets it back from Stanwyck, shot just wide. And Heacock paid a price for that one. Stanwyck, flat roll, comes back around lefty, and you see the ambidexterity of Stanwyck on that one. Michael Lynch with the backup. BL retains
Shot out of bounds,
possession.
remains Laker
A hot
ball.
day
Michael
like
Lynch
today. We're going to
inbound.
see who's getting their Motive Pure all throughout the day.
And that's a matchup you'll probably see in the next few years. Travis Wood v. Shaq Stanwyck, both committed to the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays.
Second midfield line checks in for the Lakers. Casey Reese will inbound. He's joined by Keegan O'Connor. And they go right away into some invert. Team Moyer now behind the cage, guarded by Fradkin. Moyer gets it up top to the inverted Heacock. Heacock rolls it behind to Stanwyck. Inside shot, goal. Colin Shell finishes it.
Lakers.
And credit Colin Shell with a nifty little inside
Colin
cut.
Shell on
And
the
there it
score.
is, folks.
Shaq Stanwyck on the assist.
8:58 first quarter.
8:58 mark of
The
first
race to
quarter.
nifty is
Lakers
all but
1,
over.
St. Paul 0.
And Colin Shell is a guy that is just
At the X for
Mr.
the
Johnny
Lakers
on the
now,
spot, a
Brian
la
Wittenauer.
Jack Rice in 2009,
Mike D'Amelio for the
always in the right
Crusaders.
spot on the field, easy finish.
Nick Shepard in on the wing.
Gotta love those Baltimore Crabs.
First quarter brought to you by the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club. Pre-whistle violation against Emilio, and it's going to be Laker possession. Shot high, Colin Shell with the
Shot out of
backup.
bounds, remains Laker ball. Stanwyck to inbounds.
Shell, one of those great complimentary attackmen who finds his spots, lets the game come to him.
He will never be one of those premier attackmen, one of those quarterbacks, one of those crease guys that'll rack up 40, 50 goals. But like you said, a complimentary guy, and sometimes that's just as crucial as that premier guy.
Heacock rolls out, lefty gets it up top. Pass intended for the inside, deflected away, and now it's Travis Wood gets it over to Rigo. Excuse me, Hunter Pearl. Pearl getting the start today for St. Paul's. High looping pass corralled by Bennett Moore. And Connor Sheehan with the clear for the Crusaders.
And can't emphasize goalie play enough today, Booker. I've seen some phenomenal goalie performances the past few years. I remember my junior year at St. Paul's, a good friend of mine, Nick Laverty, came in as a backup and had one of the best performances I've ever seen as a goalie and knocked BL out of playoffs the first time in 20 plus years. Goalie play is so huge in this rivalry.
He's out! And a great little tightrope act as the automatic stall warning in effect with the ball going back on the defensive half, and BL makes quick work of the takeaway. Colin Shell thinks about it, but holsters his weapon, defers back to Stanwyck. Midi subs for both squads right now. Keys to victory tied today for the BL Lakers.
Well, I think I just mentioned it. Goalie play is so huge. Face-off play as well. I think how big their top guns play is very essential. Shaq Stanwyck, no doubt. Colin Heacock and those midfielders. That's so important, as well as that matchup between Mac Pond and Spencer Parks. And on the flip
Bruno
side
shot
for
out of
St.
bounds.
Paul's, I think if Spencer
Colin
Parks
Heacock
owns his matchup,
inbounds for the
they have a
Lakers.
much better chance of victory. And the aforementioned goalie play, of course.
Your keys to victory brought to you by Motive Pure Hydration Formula. A hot day like today, you got to get your Motive Pure. 6:39 to go, first quarter. Lakers lead 1-0. Lakers in their home whites, St. Paul's road blues. As Pridemore, Crazy Ivan comes out to starboard, top half of the hour. Tal Bruno. Nice inside roll. Ball checked away, and now we're going to get a moving pick. Call's going to give possession back
Loose
over
ball
to the
hold
Lakers.
is the call on the field. Remains a Laker ball.
Michael Lynch, top center, defended by Austin Butcher. Great move by Lynch. Great save on the inside, Hunter Pearl.
Tough angle shot there by Lynch. felt pretty confident, looked like. These BL offensive players are always so good in those tight angles, it seems like.
Pridemore splits left to right, and now matched up by the long stick, pulls it across. Sky whammy, and diverts back to Stanwyck. Stanwyck going against Travis Wood, and now creates the switch, and Bennett Moore picks him up. Both players bitten by the turf monster. Great move by Stanwyck. Shot goal. 5:09 to go first quarter. Shaq Stanwyck. 2-0 Lakers.
Lakers 2, Crusaders 0.
Make Royal Farms your first stop before and after every game for everything from custom-built subs and wraps, healthy snacks, drinks, fresh brewed coffee, Western fries, and of course, Royal Farms' delicious, world-famous, fresh, never-frozen chicken. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast.
Mr. Corrigan, what is it about those Stanwicks that are they're so good getting the ball in the back of the net when they're on the ground or after they're on the ground? We saw Steele do it once or twice this year, get the assist and get the goal. I don't know.
Just that never quit attitude. They don't give up on a play, and they're also very good at allowing the game to come to them. Here's Parks going against Pons. Parks straight right to right, unleashes it, backed up by Larkin.
Larkin's brother, a guy that actually played in this rivalry from both sides. Cliff Larkin, St. Paul's class 2008, transferred from BL and played in a few games in St. Paul's in this rivalry. Awesome player now at Princeton. Older brother Connor actually played at Brown as well.
Shot by Alex McGovern, never makes it to the goal, and now it's Matty Reese with the clear for the Lakers, and he's going to take it straight down. Colin Shell inside play, shot,
And
goal,
that's a
Stanwyck.
goal! Shaq Stanwyck on the score. Colin Shell on the assist.
Sexually transmitted infections such as chlamydia and gonorrhea can have serious health consequences, but these infections are easy to
We
treat.
have a Crusader
So if you think you
timeout.
might be infected, talk to your healthcare provider or get tested free at your local public health clinic. It's fast, it's easy, you don't even need a blood sample. If you test negative, great. If not, it's a step towards getting the treatment you need. BD, helping all people live healthy lives. Go to bd.com to learn more. Make Royal Farms your
At the
first
X
stop
after the timeout,
before
Brian
and
Lichtenauer
after
for the
every
Lakers,
game
Mike D'Amelio
for
for
everything
the
from
Crusaders.
custom-built subs and wraps, healthy snacks, drinks, fresh brewed coffee, Western fries, and of course Royal Farms' delicious, world-famous, fresh, never frozen chicken. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast.
Liam Anderson coming in and attack for St. Paul's. Liam, a sophomore, committed to High Point, I believe.
Ground ball picked up by BL's Keegan O'Connor. But now Michael Mayer all over him like a spider monkey. Mayer checks it away, and it's going to be Crusader possession. You pick up some of the flavor, the
Crusader ball to
intensity out
clear.
here. Great hustle play by Michael Mayer.
And those just small plays will make the sideline go crazy, especially the coaches saw, man, Brandon Scacani go absolutely nuts down there. Can hear Scacani's voice loud and clear from up here.
Austin Tolan now in for St. Paul's, clearing it, gets it down the wing to Liam Anderson. Tolan gets it up top to Parks. Parks forced to his right by Pons. Quick shot fake. And wants to reset, now goes behind the cage. Comes around, gets it up top to Tolan, shot just wide.
I love this
Shot out
matchup
bounds.
between
Remains
Pons and Parks.
Crusader
Pons
ball.
is so good at positioning himself. He's great up top. I think he'd make a very good LSM in college. But will really shadow Parks all over the field.
Cuda.com and Royal Farms, so lucky to cover the best high school lacrosse league in the country, easily the most competitive year in, year out, and largely due to the amazing coaches that have just been stockpiled here in the MIAA. Today's combatants, Rick Bricado and Bob Shriver, and of course the assistant coaches, just fantastic coaches all over the field.
I think it's a given that any of these assistant coaches would make great head coaches.
BL is offsides right now.
Yep.
Offsides called against the Lakers. Now they're going to say they were subbing. Delayed sub. Referees Carmen D. John Domenico, Maceo Parker, and Richard Montgomery McGee. They come together to talk about it.
Inadvertent whistle will remain the boys Latin ball.
Booker, I wasn't sure what refs would be out there. I was about to ask you, so thanks for letting the crowd know.
Sometimes they hand me that slip of paper halfway through the first quarter. D. John Domenico, always one of those harder names to pronounce, but first time we've seen him. Heacock shot, save on the inside. Hunter Pearl doing the honors on that one. 3-0 Lakers right now. We're at J. Duncan Smithfield on the campus of Boys Latin.
That's another instance of two players playing each other in the future, or being teammates in the future, rather. Hunter Pearl also committed to Penn State, as is Colin Heacock.
Ball goes onto the turf. And now time violation coming up against the Crusaders.
Got to get it in the box.
Push, and now they get it in.
You had a violation!
Liam Anderson spins it up top. BJ Mathias gets it over to McGovern. McGovern's going to have a run left-handed. Shot fake by Parks. Christian Knight tracking that ball well. Parks finally gets a clean shot at it.
And those are the shots he usually can't. He's so good on the run. I expect him to see that trickle past Knight.
Carter Flagg, inside move shot, goal. St. Paul's is on the board at the 1:03 mark. Carter Flagg.
Carter Flagg unassisted.
A crafty inside move
1:03
by
to
Flagg.
go here in the first quarter. Lakers 3, Crusaders 1. At the faceoff X, Hunter Moreland for the Lakers, Mike D'Amelio for the Crusaders.
Flagg, one of those guys that Coach
Jake Carbone and
Bricado
Nick
was
Shepard,
raving
long
about
balls.
in the summer, saying he sort of compared to Jeff Fallon, who graduated from St. Paul's in 2010, now plays at Georgetown. He's a freshman, very shifty, nifty player who dominated the Bronze Shootout in late July this past summer.
Mike D'Amelio wins the faceoff and possesses it inside. We're under a minute left here in the first quarter. First quarter brought to you by the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club. Check out their prospect camp. The Baltimore Crabs getting a middle school age camper prospect camp going. And Maddie Reese, inside finish, no dice for Colin Chell, and still a full 25 seconds left on the clock. Liam Anderson now possesses for the Crusaders as we creep towards the end of the first quarter. Parks dodging right to right. 2 seconds on the clock, shot off, gets it off in
And that
time.
brings the first quarter to conclusion. Lakers 3, Crusaders 1. At the top
Make
of the
Royal
corridor
Farms
here,
your
we do have
first
snacks,
stop before
eating
and after
class,
every
selling,
game for
pizza
everything
and
from
drinks.
custom-built subs and wraps, healthy
The end of the
snacks,
promenade.
drinks, fresh
The school
brewed
store in the
coffee,
brown shingle
Western
building is
fries,
also
and of
open if
course,
you're thirsty,
Royal
need a drink
Farms
or a snack.
delicious, world-famous, fresh, never frozen chicken. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast.